Hey, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hype, the live blog of hospitality and travel tech. I'm very glad today that I'm going to share the stage always with Roxanne. And actually, today we have a special guest from Hyperguest, Roy. How are you guys? Good afternoon.
Doing good. How are you, Enzo?
All good here in Barcelona. Great weather. Just waiting for the summertime, guys, and spend some time on the beach.
Brilliant.
Amazing. So today the topic is going to be video traveler generated content. So how this amazing way to communicate is becoming probably the next trend of booking platforms. So let's see if we are introducing this company and tomorrow is going to be the new giant of distribution. Let me introduce the guest. We have Mo and Tab. So I'm not sure I'm pronouncing correctly your name, guys, but let's do something. You make a little introduction by starting from you, Mo.
Hi there, guys. Hi, Enzo. Hi, team. How are you guys? You okay? My name's Mo. I am the co-founder and the CCO of TripLog. We are the world's first video booking platform, which is connecting with segments like never before.
Fantastic. What about you, Tabs?
Thank you so much. My name is Tab Zabir. I am the founder stroke CEO of TripLog. It's a pleasure to be on here. It's our first time doing a podcast, so I'm excited about it. And I'm really looking forward to introducing our platform to everybody. Thank you.
Roxanne, well, you are well known, but let's make an intro with you. And I see you have some nice partners there.
Every month when we do this, she comes and she has to sit on my lap for whatever reason. She just wants to be a part of it. So here she is. Her name is Molly, my little chihuahua. Back again with Edwards and Finn, speaking about recruitment and showing some of the jobs that we have live at the moment. And looking forward to hearing from the guys from TripLog.
Cool. Roy, well, do your introduction.
So I'm Roy Liebfeld. I'm the head of marketing at Hyperguest, here to support Enzo and answer a few questions about Hyperguest works with the travel blog and different platform, and excited to be here.
Fantastic. All right, so let's start the conversation. Let me put some nice background. From where we start, Mo, do you have something to share, right? So you want me to pull up your slide?
Yeah, you can pull up that slide, please. Just some things that are on there.
Here we are. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we basically are a platform that have changed the way things work in the hospitality world, especially when it comes to influencers and video-generated content. We are really looking at inspirational videos where people can get inspired to actually go and book. So our platform actually does is using video-generated content. People come in, book, and they're able to see exactly where they're going and be able to book on that. And not just that, when they are going to destinations, they can vlog their content, share it through our platform, and if anyone else books, they will receive a commission, bringing back the digital word of mouth into the hotel industry like it's never been done before. So that is what we're kind of doing for. So if you can see, like 71% of people use video generated content to make their next trips, which is really, really important because now a lot of people go to so many different places to look at videos and really to just be inspired. So what we are providing is all of that in one platform. And if you look at all the 60% of people that are looking at booking a trip, are always just looking at the visual side of it and seeing the trust element of looking at a video generated content and able to trust those people that are reviewing to choose their next destination. Gone are the days of written reviews because they're all subjective. When we have a video in front of us, we believe what we are seeing and we want to actually be inspired and go to these places. And it's never been done before in the hotel industry. We've seen outdated aesthetical pictures which have been when the properties have started and they become outdated and people don't know the dates that these have been put on. So we really, really want to just inspire the industry, inspire the travelers, and create an ecosystem where everyone earns and everyone receives value.
Good point. Good point. So, in order to be really attractive, do you think you should achieve reached a minimum quantity of video in the platform to be attractive. I mean, is this something you have already planned to achieve in the next couple of years? You have some
Yes, of course. We have our roadmap, obviously, going down that sort of. And the other thing really important is for hotels, we have the ability to reach segments that they've never reached before, especially with the likes of assisting with Hyperguest, etc. It's something that the hotels always have on top of their agendas, but they can't actually meet those agendas and meet those targets because they don't have a platform specific or a vertical platform that actually only recognizes hospitality and hotel industry. So we think that we can provide that. And I think going down, a few months, what we're doing and how we're doing it, we're onboarding hotels, we're working directly with hotels, trying to kind of have that maximize that direct booking, that direct relationship, especially when it comes to data as well. So the hotel have the ability to know who their target market is, who they're actually targeting, and where their videos are going, and all the statistics and the analytics when people are sharing that content. If you see recently, and if you go on to places like TikTok and Instagram, a lot of the times when people are posting videos, they're not specific to hotels or marketing the hotels. They're more specific to their experience and what they are going through. And we want to change that narrative a little bit, where they are actually promoting the hotels, showing their own engagers or their followers where they actually are, what they're actually getting, to really entice people to go to those hotels. I think that's very, very important in terms of the vision that we have of going forward and really getting the value across to not just the influencers, travelers, and also the hotels, and really bringing value.
Good point. Listen, just to clarify, because this is something I didn't mention. Well, TripVlog is an integrated and partner of Hyperguest. Can you just describe a little bit the reason why you have connected with Hyperguest?
I think it's quite an easy one, actually, because Hyperguest gives us the exposure, especially with channel managers, to work with so many different properties and hotels. And it just makes our connectivity a lot easier. And also, in terms of the segments that we're looking to target, Hyperguest has a very aligned vision with us, especially when you're looking at the 18 to 35, that sort of demographic. And I think, if I'm not wrong, I think it's the most difficult demographic for hotels globally in this current climate.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'll pull up back your slide. I think you have more slide to share, right?
No, I think that is the one of the main sort of stats that we've got,
Okay.
and really showing how big the industry is at 1.5 trillion, the video generated industry.
If I can ask a question.
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Yeah. So I know for myself as a marketer that I always wanted to reach that demographic. It's the hardest demographic to reach. Young people between the age of 18 and 25 and 38. Sorry, they only consume things in video. How would you suggest to start with video marketing and video blogs for hotels?
Of course,
what would be the first few steps?
For us, the way we look at it is obviously looking at the size of influencers, and a lot of people sort of side with macro and large influencers. Obviously, they have a certain following for certain things, but what I feel is that we should be looking at the nano and the micro influencers, because they're the ones that have more trust with their followers, their friends, their family. So we really want to sort of drive the users and the hotel visitors to be sharing their content, and also the kind of the micro influencers to also be sharing the content. And what happens then is that you got those demographics that are following them and the people that are visiting, and other people will have that trust with those videos and the video generated content that they're releasing, to sort of, again, as I said, inspire the younger generation and getting younger people involved within the hotel industry, because they do travel. I just don't think that travel videos and travel vloggers they don't really have a platform currently. And I really do think that this would be a platform for them to obviously generate revenue for themselves, because we've got a share commission model, and really expose hotels to that younger demographic.
Yeah. Can I just add to that, Roy? I think is it definitely an interesting question when you asked about how do hotels market, because as a content creator myself, just before COVID, I was doing a lot of work with the hotels, and I was doing a lot of, the standard camera on the pod and running into the hotels, doing walkthrough videos. Because back then, a lot of the hotels at the moment, back before COVID, they somewhat were doing a very commercial approach on how they want to show content, basically, and how they want to visualize this content. And the problem was their content was very commercial in its appearance. And what the trend in now, the social media trend is now, everybody loves to vlog, everybody likes to talk about something, and people are inspired by true vlogging. So hence the name Trip Vlog. And what we're trying to do with hotels now is tell hotels that you've got a designated platform to start your own vlogs and become your own influencer. And that was key for us, for the hotels to start looking at how they can implement this. And then I've introduced this platform, and now the hotels, from going on to commercial videos, are looking at more personalized videos on how they can manage the content they produce. And that's what Trip Vlog does for them. I know you can see you're going through some of that. I was going to go and show you a little demo.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'll leave you doing the demo.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah, much better than me. If you want, you can share the screen and just give us
sure.
an idea from the traveler perspective, but also on the hotel side, how they can join this platform.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I was going to have the same sort of question. Like, the videos that are going to be uploaded, is this just user generated, and then how do you control the quality? Is my biggest question.
Sure. I think I'm just gonna share screen, and then I'll just talk you share screen, entire screen. Let's do it. Share.
Got it.
You guys think you can see the screen?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So before I go into it, I just want to, obviously, the question Roxana just asked, another important question. We are going to have obviously an admin monitoring system in the back, where we look at the content, make sure it's aligned with the standard policies and guidelines of people not posting out content that is offensive, is rude, or is sexually explicit. So we have to monitor all that as well, that comes on to here. But the content, this is like a hybrid platform where content through travelers and hotels is combined into a platform which you can see the best of both worlds. So what you're seeing here, please note that this is not the final version. We are working on modules every week as we go along. We've just started the onboarding process for hotels before we release the portal to travelers, which we are testing in the next coming weeks as well. And then we're constantly, obviously, improving the UX, UI, and the back-end infrastructure to make sure we can have quite a flawless and a seamless experience. So when you come onto this, what you'll see is straight away is the visual element of it. We have designed it as a web application at the moment. And it just lets you, for example, I'm tapped in. I'll take you to the top right in a moment. But just if I press Explore Hotels, let's see. Refresh. So if I'm exploring hotels now, it just gives me that element of a TikTok feel, flicking through content and hotels. And what's good here is every hotel can land. For example, this lady is talking about her hotel and come and have a tour in the hotel. She shows the overall hotel in a 30 to 60 seconds a slot. But what you can actually do here is, if I wanted to look at the bedroom, I just hit the bedroom icon on the right, and it'll actually show me the bedroom video. If I want to show the pool, I'll click the pool icon, it'll show me the pool video. And this bars on the side are acting as each hotel can change these, they can tailor these, and they can put whatever they want to show. And everything that I press, I can flick through content quite easily. I can check availability, and I can make the booking and reservation directly from the platform. This is what is key about TripVlog, is you can do everything internally without having to bounce through multiple different APIs. Every hotel's landing page is different. Everybody can change the side element of the bars to however they want. For example, let me take you through one of these properties in Dubai. You can see the right side, they've got a lot of things to show here. So for argument's sake, if I want to press the spa, I hit the spa, it'll show me the spa, and it'll show what the spa looks like. And anytime I want to book the hotel, I press book, I check availability, and I can book it. So the whole experience, what we're trying to do is make it easy for people to look and search content. This is work in progress. By all means, this is not the final version. So we haven't released this to the public yet. if I'm clicking on the top right and I go into my personal dashboard as a traveler, how quickly we can populate this. Mr. Think you asked a good question before, Enzo, around how quickly videos can be loaded onto this. As a traveler, I've loaded my profile up to Tabs Zabir, business traveler, for argument's sake. I can now upload videos to our backend itinerary of, however many hotels I can find on our backend. So if I type in Hilton, for argument's sake, it will bring up, from my content, it'll bring up all the Hiltons they are. This goes on forever. And if I've got a video for that Hilton, I can just hit the select video and I can upload the video into here, add the hashtags at the bottom, description, and that Hilton's page will be populated with that particular video to say this is a traveler video that's been uploaded. And if anybody books from that particular video, for example, if anybody books from a video that I posted on one of the rooms in Copthorne, I can start generating revenue from this, and we can quite easily market this to the younger demographic and get a lot of content populated on this. We're just working on the final tweaks of what we want to show here and how we want to present it before it's fully operational for travelers to come on, not just book content, but put content on there, which is the key for us.
So one curiosity.
In a way, I think this is really cool.
Super cool, super. I love it. One curiosity. So, as a traveler, I'm uploading the video. Where this video exactly is going? How this video will be categorized?
So basically, this video, for argument's sake, let me just come out from here. This video will say, for argument's sake, if I go into this hotel here, you can see this hotel has already got content trip vlogs that they've created. These are all done by the hotel in the rooms. And you can see all the. But here it says Tableau videos. Can you see where it says Tableau videos? I've just clicked there.
Okay.
So I can now flick through content that's done by the hotel, and I can also flick through the content done by the traveler. So it'll show me both. In fact, we are looking at creating. If I just go back out from here, we are looking at creating what we call a review section, maybe here where you can see the stars, where all the video reviews will be loaded into that, as well as the TripAdvisor's reviews as well. So we're trying to get content managed across the board. I'm just going to see if I can find a video.
If I may, Tabs, Enzo, I think the answer to your question is when the travelers or anyone that's traveling as a guest, they load a blog of the property. When they go through our platform, they have the ability to share it through their social channels with a link, a specific link that we create. So when someone watches that video, they click on that link, they get generated straight to TripLog, and they can book. And if someone does book, they will receive a commission.
Yeah, and you can search from the top. For example, if you search traveler vlogs, and mine here, you can see here it says Tabs Zabir traveler video. This is a traveler video that I did. Now, if I want to book this particular hotel, I've seen this video done by myself, and I'll be able to say, "Oh, this is a nice video. This hotel looks good." They can check availability, and they can book that particular hotel straight away without watching any other video. There's another one here done by Santorini Palace by another influencer that we are working with. Here's another one done by Gwen. Gwen did a little vlog when she went to Melia Desert Palm, and she's showing the property. I can now book this property because I like her video. I like what I saw. I thought, this is nice. I can book it. So the platform works both ways. It segregates content from both hotels and travelers onto a portal, which is designed for both travelers and hotels to quite easily come in and do this. Let me just log out from and I'm just going to go back from a hotel perspective.
For one of the previous months, we had sort of influencer marketing, and we spoke about that. And one of the things that, even as a head of commercial coming out of hotels, we spoke about how do you know which influencer is going to have the biggest impact? And often you need to give the room stays away for free. And you're waiting for the content to come out. There is always this gap sort of missing of how much revenue was returned from having that influencer stay. Now, if that influencer stayed and uploads their content onto TripVlog, and there's bookings coming specifically from that content piece, you would then be able to see how much ROI is on that influencer stay.
Exactly. That was the most important thing for us, to make sure that we can actually follow and have analytics specifically for the hotels, because we want them to be in control. We're creating a circular economy, not just for revenue, but also for control and audit and data, which is absolutely massive. And we want that. That's where the circular economy really comes in, where everyone sort of is rewarded for their efforts.
And, and usually these influencers are not paid when they're coming to stay at the properties, but this is a way for them to generate additional income.
Absolutely.
Incentivizing everyone, especially the influencers and also normal travelers. For example, if someone goes and checks into a hotel and they see a QR code with Triplog, why don't you scan the QR code and earn towards your next stay? And things like that. So these are obviously the marketing techniques and things like that we are going to be using going forward with hotels. But it just shows that the incentive right now out there for a lot of vloggers is not there. And this is truly an incentive for those vloggers, especially in travel.
Yeah, Roxanne, I think you hit the nail on the head there, because this is the problem we were having with the influencers as well. But now with the platform, you can actually monitor how much that video is generated. You can even break down the analytics to show you about 50 bookings from that last influencer. They were made and they were booked, and the influencers are making money and you're making money as well. So this is key. For example, I've just logged into a hotel's profile, and a hotel can, for argument's sake, have 6 different properties. Here is the Imar Hospitality, which are working with us, and they've given us the address chain to deal with. They can load up. They can add a property quite easily because it brings up the information from the back end. They'll know from the information that we pulled up there is correct or not. They can add whatever facilities they want. These are constantly growing list. I think we've got 50 presets designated to hotels and resorts. And then they can quite easily punch videos behind each one to know what they've put in. They can delete a video, they can edit a video, they can feature any of these videos as a landing page video. And they can also know from everything they've done, they can also quite quickly look at the booking history, what's been booked, what's been coming in, what video is generating what, and they can quite easily get a very good insight on what they are doing. So we try to make this user-friendly for hotels as well. They can add multiple different users from some of the notification tabs are not fully accessible because we are going live in the coming months and we're working on these, but you're able to add as a commercial director, you can add the marketing director as one of the users, you can add the room director as one of the users, you can add the restaurant manager as a user. They can all upload their own content into their specific areas of the destination to make the content flow easily. So I've looked at this from a perspective of as being a content creator myself for hotels in the past, as well as what the hotel demand would be to manage the content and manage the bookings. So it works in both ways, and I think as we go push forward with this, it's going to be key for us to make sure that we can. At the moment we're just loading hotels, and that's why for travelers and the hotel portal, this is a very, very unique way to go through, flick through, and get that experience that you want, and at the same time get rewarded with content. So I've just given you a brief overview of the platform itself, and again, it'll be live for booking in the coming months as we really, really propel the intake of hotels. We're doing some remarkable things at the moment. I'll stop sharing my screen. I think I'm done with
I have stopped to share. He stopped to show us. Anyway, meanwhile we wait for that. I love this platform, guys. Really, but the reason why I organized this live is just because when we talked first time, and you present me the platform, I think this is a genius idea, guys, because you are creating some sort of the TikTok for travel, let's say, in a stupid way. What is not clear for me now, how do you rank hotels within the list results? I mean, the traditional OTA is always rate-based, pricing, review-based algorithm, so which gives more visibility to hotels with more let's say return of how they call it, I don't remember, but basically as more reservation you get, more higher is your rank, basically the concept of those OTA. And then if you raise the commission, you raise the bar level, of course this will become also another key element to give a higher rank. So, but how your platform works from that point of view? I mean, how do you rank hotels?
It's quite simple, really. First of all, is obviously the quality of content. We work with the hotels to make sure that the content quality is really good. In terms of ranking with the hotels, historically, as you know, we live in a metaverse where everyone spends on ad budgets, and we're all really privy to how much it really costs now, because people are competing on ad budget costs, and it's become it's become ridiculous, to be honest, because you could be a great property but not actually put a high percentage of your revenue towards marketing, and you could lose out. And so what we want to do is give exposure. So instead of doing it in terms of ad budget gives us thousands, no, we want to have a subscription model where you come and we become your marketing partner, where we actually expose you to the world. And even when you are putting videos, you're not just sort of left there with the videos that you put up. Every time someone loads a video of your hotel, and if you are subscribed with us and a partner of ours, we will give you that exposure, that premium exposure, where you will show first. So, for example, if Roxanne was to go to Barcelona, and she types in Barcelona, and a hotel that is working with us would always come up number one in Barcelona, and show the videos. And people, historically, we always flick through. We have a habit of going through so many different videos, so many different hotels, but having that top exposure based on that is really, really important, especially when you're looking at search algorithms. So if we know it's a single traveler, we'll be exposing hotels that are very good for obviously single travelers. If you're a family traveler, you'll be exposed to resorts, etc., etc. So we're kind of following the same rule of thumb a lot of the OTAs are following, but the added exposure of hotels and eliminating the paradox of choice, in all honesty. So people that don't have to go to YouTube, Instagram, all of these places to get inspiration and then go somewhere else to book, and then they're not sure. So we want to really eliminate that, to be honest.
I was going to ask the same question. So is it, but from a sort of a user perspective, is it going to have a For You page where, you know, I've sort of liked this and I've spent a long time looking at these sort of videos, so it's going to show me hotels that are similar to that, maybe in different locations, and that could drive my idea to book later on or next year or from a forward planning? Because you know how if you're sitting on Instagram or TikTok, the things that you liked before are the things that you keep seeing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's where the AI for our side also comes in, and especially the algorithms that we've set. So when a user obviously has to be registered with us, because that's the only way we can actually have that data to really work around them, and that's where it starts. So the algorithms are going to be built on your selection. So when you are viewing a hotel, how long you're on that video for, what you like in terms of the tabs and the icons that we've got. If you're constantly clicking on pool, maybe I'll show you an aqua park with the hotel. So if you're going to Dubai, Dubai with, I don't know which hotels there are there that have aqua parks, you can have those kind of put up. And if it's kids friendly, when I go with my children up, it's all about them. What could I do next? And what else can I do? And just following on from that, because this is obviously our first phase when it comes to hotels, the really important and the amazing thing about it also is when travelers do go out, our next phase is a map with videos of all the local things to do. And I know all of us, we go on holiday, we go and pay for something and we did not enjoy it. But if someone gave you the option of actually viewing it before you went there and make that choice, that would be money well spent. Instead of money.
Actually, that was one point I was going to ask you as a next, implementation, because at the end, most of the video when we travel, we do are related to the destination. So of course, you have a huge amount of contents that you can collect from those travelers. For sure, it's much easier. So,
yeah.
Roy, you want to ask something?
Yeah, I wanted to say something and ask something. One of the things that we find with a lot of our customers is when they ask us regarding marketing is credibility. Credibility comes from other people talking about you, not from you talking about yourself. And the issue is with today's market is that written reviews are not as credible as we thought they are. Basically, anyone can write the written reviews, and we find that most of the people that write reviews are usually the more irate people, the angrier people, and things like that. In video, we don't really have that. In video, the credibility comes from the person, that video blogger, his relationship with his audience. So it gives another element to market and that can really change things. What I wanted to ask is regarding your business model. How do you see you guys moving forward, and what type of business model are you working on?
So currently, we're working on a subscription model, which is obviously on the hotel side in terms of marketing and exposure. And then we're also looking at the commission. You can look at it as a merchant model going forward, which is something that is absolutely massive within the industry at the moment. So those are the two main models that we are looking at. And it is something that we will be looking to pivot and change. We are people that are data driven. We want, be incited with data. We want to use data to make every decision moving forward. But these are going to be our two core business models to start with.
One last question from my side. Right now, which are the primary destinations you are focusing?
I think right now, Enzo, we're concentrating ourselves across the spectrum. To be honest with you, we had the target market area as London, Europe, and across the Middle East. But what we've done, as soon as we've landed in these areas, we're getting calls from everywhere to onboard. We were just in London a couple of days ago speaking to properties in New York to make an entry in New York. They think this will be very big in New York. So we're looking at taking on about 14, 15 properties in the New York region, and that might lead to several others. And right now, we're heavily concentrating across Middle East, like I said, London, as far East Asia as we can go. We've had a fantastic event at the Arab Travel Market. We had a great one in London last year. We're looking forward to the London one in November coming up. So in between that, we've got probably about 400 to 500 hotels to onboard. So we're now just looking at how we're going to manage that content and get all that content on with all the properties. So we've got some busy times coming ahead.
Amazing. I mean, I wish, guys, this goes very viral. At some point, you can control which destination goes first. I assume so. I wish you really the best. Before moving to Roxanne and look at some opportunity, as you know, Roxanne is our resident speaker in Hype, and she always share on a monthly basis job opportunity. You have any other question for Tabs and Mo, Roy and Roxanne related to the TripVlog platform?
A very simple question. If someone wants to sign up to your early bird before you go live, how do they do that?
Yeah, that's a very good point, Roy, actually, because that's something that I had written down and hadn't got to. We are doing a lot of collaborations with hotels as early endorsers and early partnerships. And what this does is it allows them to give their data and give their input in the progression of our platform. Because we're really, Tabs and I, we're from the industry, and what we love doing is working with the industry and working on these things, because every industry has its problems, and we want to work with the hotels to actually solve these problems and move forward with that, especially with the segmentation side of it. I think that's really important. So at this stage, we're working with the hotels to come on board, place their interest with us, and we are doing a lot of early advantages, discounts, and all sorts to really work with these hotels and build a relationship more than anything else.
Yeah, just reach out to us on email. Basically, go to our website, register interest, reach out to us, email us, and we'll get them on board as early birdies.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I really wish you guys a lot of luck. I think this is, I really hope it goes viral. Like Enzo says, I think it's quite a cool platform. And I can see how the demographic that you're targeting between that 18 to, let's say, 40, right? Who love a doom scroll. Are going to find this quite appealing instead of having to navigate some of the more traditional OTAs where there's a lot of words involved and a hell of a lot of reading. Nobody feels like reading anymore. Get the appeal of looking at the actual videos, but also then user-generated content of having that credibility on what the hotel is showing, but also and then as a head of commercial, being able to see the actual ROI from influencers staying, I think that will be amazing. And I think that it would also help hotels attract better influencers if they have TripVlog as an app and saying, okay, well, if you're doing your content that way, we also have this partner and you can earn money through that. I think that
absolutely.
If I may, guys, I've got another thing to say, really, and something a bit more sort of personal to myself in terms of accessibility. I think video plays a massive part with the accessibility issues that a lot of hotels have. You know, allowing someone to view the hotel before they get there, and to know if it's going to be something that's going to be comfortable for them to go to a hotel. I think the hotel industry doesn't place a massive importance on that. And if you look at a lot of the travelers with disabilities, let's say, for example, this is something really, really important for them that I really want to sort of make sure that we can address and push forward with. And then you also have the sustainability side. I know a lot of people are saying they're planting trees, and a lot of hotels are doing things towards the sustainability, but imagine you can get that on video and you can actually trust it and believe it. I think it would be massive, absolutely massive.
Okay, go trip vlog. And video, get money in, so you can earn and book the next hotel for free.
Absolutely, that's the mission. That's the mission.
Right. So, Roxanne, what's new out there? Do we have a job for me, for Roy? Because we want to work on the hotel side. We want to move from travel tech to hotels. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, so
I want to be the night shift manager of another, whatever. I want to go back.
As you know, Edwards and Finn specifically focus on the recruitments in the commercial side of hotels. So bringing up, looking for people in sales, marketing, e-commerce, revenue management, all of those sort of roles. We actually are moving towards including some travel tech companies. So we're looking to get some travel tech companies on board and supporting with that shift of talent coming out of perhaps hotels and going into the customer success. Almost said something awful there. Into customer success from hotel backgrounds, which we've seen a trend of that happening over the past few years. So this is my beautiful team. We're all working in these segments. As I've mentioned before, we recruit into these segments because we've actually worked in those jobs. So when hotels are bringing jobs to us, we've actually worked in those positions, and that helps us really find the right talents for what hotels are looking for. And let's just make sure it moves. So these are the jobs that we have on the board at the moment. Still quite a few roles on our board from a revenue perspective, looking at those cluster and remote roles. And we haven't listed, of course, all of the brands and chains and independent hotel groups. And most of these are in London, with the exception of a couple in I can't say this, Wrocław. So anybody in Poland looking for a new opportunity, we have a revenue manager position at a beautiful hotel. This will be the first revenue manager on site for that property. So looking for somebody quite strong there to come in and really set up the foundations of the revenue management. And then I've got a really nice, exciting one on that I wanted to speak about today is the revenue coordinator in London. This is a large luxury property on Park Lane. And this would be a fantastic role for anybody coming out of a reservations manager role or revenue coordinator role, looking for a next step or the last position that they would like to go into before becoming a full revenue manager. I've actually just placed the director of revenue in this hotel. So strong director of revenue has just gone in there. GM is absolutely wonderful after both rooms revenue pricing, but also pricing from meetings and events and groups. So a really good total hotel revenue management position that has opened, and not one that opens up very often. So anybody interested in that, please feel free to reach out.
Quick one, Roxanne, curiosity, yes. Just because you talk with those hoteliers, are they mentioned if they are providing to those professionals all the right technology and tools to manage those roles, especially from the revenue standpoint? Now every hotels are finally starting to invest more in technology, revenue management system, and so on. Do they mention they provide also those kind of technology, let's say support, tele, whatever?
Definitely. So this hotel in particular is a branded property. So it has all of the infrastructure that would come from a big brand background, which is a bit bespoke, let's say, but not difficult to get your head around, especially if you're going into a role like this where you're going in to learn in any case. When we're looking at the independent hotels, yes, tech is a big tick list on everybody's agenda to make sure that they have the correct tech stack in place to be able to drive the performance of the properties, whether that's from a revenue management perspective, but also distribution. One big element, of course, is reducing the cost of commission, driving your direct bookings, increasing exposure, and getting more direct bookings through your website. But disruptors in the market that are coming in, and although the big OTAs will potentially always be the big OTAs, looking for ones that are a bit more cost effective to come in and try and
when it comes to distribution, you know where to refer people, where to drive hoteliers here in Hyperguest, and now we have also our friends from TripVlog. Let's spend some good words around. So if just introduce some hotels to those guys. They are just starting.
They can't. We're here.
Roxanne, last question, unless you have something to add. We didn't mention how the process looks like in these rules. I mean, first step is having an interview with you, then moving to the next interview. How this process works?
So generally, when a client brings us a job onto the board, we will then, and I'm going to do the whole process for this purpose. We will go and meet either via phone or face-to-face the clients to really get a good understanding of what they're looking for, the stuff that you can't really see in a job description, right? Because we've had that experience of working in hotels before, it makes it a lot easier for us to be able to understand the nitty-gritty. Because we've also we've worked with the systems, we can also then ask really good, strong questions of candidates to get an understanding if they are able to work on those systems. We would then start our search and reach out to candidates that we think are appropriate within that criteria, as well as receive applications that would come through for those roles.
Are you using LinkedIn for that?
Yeah, everything. LinkedIn, CV Library, Caterer. We search across all of the job boards to find the candidates that may not necessarily see the job going up if you've put that just on your job board, right? So there's a lot of exposure that goes in there. We would then have a call or conversation with the candidates to sort of like a first interview to really vet if they are able for the job, and also to understand sort of what they're looking for from their next role. A lot of the time we have a existing candidate base that we would reach out to first. So people who we know that are in the market that are looking for a move, and we've built a long-term relationship with them in any case, and we can bring them roles to them and them to roles, right? Then generally we send a shortlist over to the clients. Clients will, with a motivation, and this is one of the biggest things with using a recruiter, is when you apply for a job online, you don't have somebody motivating for you. If you reach out to a recruiter and say, and allow them the opportunity to get to know you, when I'm submitting over my candidate shortlist to the clients, I'm saying, I think this person is good for the job because of, and I've broken down the reasons why I think that that candidate is good for the job. Yeah. So you're not going in blind. You have some credibility behind you when your application is being put through to one of these roles. And then the client would then do a call, and it would go through usually a 1, 2, or 3 step interview process, depending on what the client is looking for. Most of the roles in the revenue manager side of things on occasion, and I'm seeing it a bit less now, where we used to have a lot of people asking for case studies. This is sort of going away. We haven't had too many people asking for case studies lately. And a big focus now is, okay, great, you've got the technical skills, you're able to crunch data, you're able to understand systems. Really important is your ability to form relationships with the people around you, to articulate your revenue management strategies, to articulate your data, to tell the story. And that's becoming a lot more of a requirement, where revenue managers perhaps in the past would have just been behind the computer crunching numbers and sort of spitting out reports. There's a much higher need for those revenue managers to be able to do some stakeholder management, to be able to present, to be able to have conversations, to be able to explain things clearly, and get the buy-in from the rest of the commercial team.
Amazing. Right, now that you are opening now also on the vertical of the technology side, you have probably the next customer, TripVlog. We wish that they will start to employ a lot of people because they are growing so fast.
Yeah.
Look, I think absolutely. I think that's a definite conversation. We are constantly in the look of sales and marketing managers, executives, directors. It's going to be roles that will be filling up very, very soon. So why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Place your roles with us exclusively, and we will start your hunt to find that talent for you. And that's across also throughout travel tech. What we've seen as a trend is people leaving hospitality, unfortunately, but going into travel tech because they can take those skills across and they know how to communicate with the hotels, but also what works, right? You need people from a hotel background to say, okay, well, this is going to work or this isn't going to work. These are the challenges you're going to face. This is how to position it. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are at the end. Last word, just quick round. Roy, anything to add?
Not too much. Really enjoyed talking to you guys, and I really see a lot of potential as a marketer for TripVlog, and I wish you best of luck. Maybe the next conversation will be a hiring one.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No, from
Thanks, guys, and best of luck.
I just want to say a massive thank you to Enzo and team. It's been an absolute pleasure being on here and giving the audience for us to give our thoughts to. I just want to highlight Hyperguest themselves in terms of all the support that they've given us up until now, and the exposure through their channel management and with all their partners. I would always encourage anyone from the hotel industry to give Hyperguest a go. Absolutely brilliant, and you won't regret it.
We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mo. Thanks, really kind words. Tabs from you.
Yes, I just want to say again, just what Mo said. Thank you so much for everybody today. I really appreciate it. Again, Hyperguest has been very easy for us, because when we say Hyperguest to hotels, a lot of them do know Hyperguest and they say, oh, okay, we can connect you straight away then. So it makes our life a lot easier. And I'm thanking to Roy over there in Tel Aviv. Thank you so much for your kind words. And you never know the future holds for yourself and for us. And Roxanne will definitely be taking up some of your expertise in hunting clientele for us, because it's very important for us as we quickly expand.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Enzo. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone. Roxanne, we will have another one in a couple of weeks, I think, something like around 20th of June, another episode. We will discuss more about something, out of the box, more related to blockchain, stuff like that. I'm not very into this topic particularly, but I was curious and I invited another very interesting startup to look at. So let's stay connected, guys, and I'll see you to the next episode of Hype, the live blog of travel tech and hospitality. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Enzo. Thank you, guys. Thank you.